Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and to talk about masculinity and men's issues. I'm your host, Brian Krall, and today I want to talk to you about male independence and empowerment. If you want to be independent and empowered as a man in this gynocentric and even now matriarchal society, you need to free yourself from mental slavery by learning to recognize the sources. Culture, politics, religion, media, these are all sources of propaganda that are brainwashing you into a system in which you as a man are enslaved to women. So wake up and resist. Exercise your independence. It is so important that men be sovereign citizens who have full decision-making power in their own lives and are not being dominated by women or brainwashed into doing things that are not in their own best interest. A man must be free and independent, which means not living with women or having relationships with them in which you relinquish your decision-making power to her and start letting her take control of your life, which is something that usually isn't a conscious decision, but something that she does through cunning and conniving. So stop agreeing with cultural propaganda that furthers religious ideologies about marriage, feminist ideologies about man-hating, and these sorts of, romantic fairy tale ideologies about love and relationships, all of which give women power over men. Live for yourself, by yourself. Be a sovereign man. Now, let's talk a little about men's rights. Men have rights, but not as many as women. But we certainly should have, which is why you need to stand up against women and fight for your rights. And know that you are not alone as a man. There are communities of men's rights activists and, of course, people here in the Masculinism Movement channel as well, who are all here to support you and form networks of strong, independent, masculine men fighting for our rights against the tyranny of the feminazis. Now, obviously, we men are wired by nature to want sex and even love. We're wired to want women in some sort of romantic way. But these feelings have been used against us for a long time and can no longer be trusted. We need to go our own way and stop living for relationships with women. We need to stop allowing our culture's programming to brainwash us into feeling as though love is, the greatest purpose and even meaning of life. We need to be able to be single and to find purpose and meaning in our own lives. If we're going to have sex, we should just leave it at that and try not to involve feelings. Going your own way is the only safe way for a man in this world. So don't ever commit to a woman in any way. Any obligations that you give to a woman will not run both ways, all right? They are self-sacrificing, okay? And you also are allowing a woman to entrap you into some sort of codependence with her, which is exactly what marriage is and how they ensure your commitment to them, all right? So if you want to be an empowered man, you have to be independent from women when it comes to marriage and relationships. And if you want to be an independent man, it's also important to have some form of self-employment. And even if you are employed, you should have other professional projects that you work on, side projects that you do outside of your 9 to 5. And you don't want to become too reliant upon your employer, all right? Because obviously they can let you go at any time, or they can put a ceiling over your success at any time. And that's because everything they do is for the good of the company, not for the good of you. Only you have your best interest in mind, especially when it comes to your financial future, okay? So work for yourself as much as you can if you want to achieve more financial freedom and independence. And try not to be too dependent upon one source of income, such as your employer, because that can be taken away from you at any time, and you need other sources of income for when that happens. And the more sources of income you have, the more security you have. You just don't want there to be too many sources of drains on your income, such as unnecessary bills or a woman. And it is important to be continuously educating and training yourself and developing skills that will give you more abilities to do more work, and thus to do as much of your own work as you can on any project that you are working on, not having to outsource it. So learning new skills for do-it-yourself projects, or learning how to do things such as handiwork for your home project, or taking classes that you can use for entrepreneurship, reading books on personal development and psychology, sociology, politics, entrepreneurship, investing, etc., making investments, and doing business in ways that vote with your dollar. taking classes and doing what you can to further your education, such as listening to seminars, lectures, audiobooks, documentaries, podcasts, etc., which is something that you could be doing whenever you can be having audio playing, such as in your car when you're driving around. Anywhere that you go, you could be getting information, right? Anytime you're cooking or cleaning or whatever, you could be listening and getting information. That's how I've become so knowledgeable. And starting a blog, if you are knowledgeable, if you have expertise in a certain area, starting a blog or even a website or video channel like I've done, so that you can start putting out your own ideas out there and get credit for them, and start to not only build a business and an online reputation, that you can use to become more influential, but to again help everyone else in the community out there of the manosphere. These are key ways that are going to help you to grow as a professional and become not only more successful, but more independent as an entrepreneur and potential business owner. If you're enjoying listening to what I have to say, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel I'm adding value to your life, you can also tip me at the PayPal link below in proportion to the amount of value added. Your support will help me be able to continue this work, because the oppressive fascists at YouTube are against this kind of content and actively trying to suppress it. So it is only with the help of viewers like you that I'll be able to keep fighting the good fight against the evil fucking matriarchy. And then the next thing that we men need to do in order to fight for our rights and independence is to start showing up more in politics with our votes. Feminism gained power by doing just that. And if men aren't going to be involved in politics by casting their votes, then they can have their rights taken away and become oppressed. So you need to start showing up at elections, showing up at town hall meetings, sending emails to political leaders and other community leaders as well. We need to have our voices heard and our votes counted if we are going to be able to live freely as the equals of women, or ideally greater, and to return things from this catastrophic feminist matriarchy back to the stable patriarchy where men could be men. We need to come together into a masculinism movement in order to win the fight against feminism. And for that, we need for men to stop infighting and practice more cooperation. We need to be able to have conversations and civil discourse without arguing and casting dispersions on one another, as is too often the case when done online. We are never going to be able to succeed as men, especially against all of these feminists, if we are not only fighting them, but ourselves as well. So in order for men to be free and independent, ironically, we need to have a greater sense of community and togetherness as well. We need a strong, unified front of strong, independent men working together for our greater good. In this way, we will be able to free ourselves from the matriarchy and this gynocentric legal system. We are only going to do that by working together. So in a sense, we will never be totally independent, all right? But no one really can be, okay? There's no such thing as a person who is 100% self-reliant, all right? Everyone needs everyone else, okay? I mean, just to make this microphone, could probably took, thousands upon thousands of different workers' labor from so many different places to make all of the different types of parts, so obviously we need civilization. We need the resources of all of us pooled together, right? But you want to be as self-sufficient and independent from others as possible. You don't want to become, too dependent on too many people, and especially women. All right, it is very important that a man be more independent from women and not allow himself to become dependent upon women, okay, because they are so much more dangerous than if you were to, be dependent upon another man, for instance, for, your business needs. If you have a contract between him, generally he's going to honor it, and that's going to be a mutually beneficial partnership. But a marriage contract with a woman does not have to be honored by her, and it will never be mutually beneficial. It is basically just you signing over your life to her. So we shouldn't have to be independent from other men, since we are not really our own enemy. Men can live and work together and help each other to achieve our fullest potential. It is women who work against us, and so it is really only women that we need to be free and independent from. All right. The only problem is that, as studies have shown, both men and women have strong biases towards women, okay? So men tend to get caught up in this infighting, and we're letting feminists conquer us because of the fact that we aren't presenting this unified front against them, and they are doing so against us. So we need to show more of an own group preference for ourselves, just like they do, and become more unified and independent from women. Okay, and of course, you can maintain your independence on an individual level while being part of a community made up of mutually beneficial relationships. And on this individual level, there are things that we can do in order to help each other, to build skills and strengths and empower one another to be able to live more independent lives as men, just like I'm attempting to do with this channel. Okay, I'm attempting to help all of you and build a sense of community here where we can interact and have relationships and share ideas and resources and such. And at the same time, I'm doing this to help you to live a better life as an independent man. And there's so many important ways that we can help each other to do this and build life skills for our independence together. And though you are creating personal change and, building your life as an independent individual, you're also helping to create a sense of community in the manosphere and to effectuate larger scale social change in society that will help all of us men to be more independent and empowered as well. So that is why it is so important for you to think about not only how you can empower yourself, but how you can empower the male community around you, or help to create or become more of a part of that community. Like here on the internet in the quote-unquote manosphere, I've created this Masculinism movement channel to serve as a platform where we will have a public forum for us to talk about men's issues together, right? So I hope that you will join me here so that we can all empower one another to live more independently. And if you have anything to share, that you do not hold back, and that you join the conversation that I'm trying to create. That concludes this video. Thanks for listening. I hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button, and if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you. If you are ready to take the red pill and wake up from the matrix and the matriarchy controlling it and learn everything you need to know about female on male sexism, get your copy of my newly released book called Misandry Exposed, on sale now for a special price that won't last long. So check it out by clicking the link below. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, men, because no woman out there is going to.